We've all been there, feeling literally like we're drowning under the stress. We don't quite know where it comes from. We are pretty young when it happens and we don't even realize. It's like a train wreck waiting to happen. You turn 17, 18, and you are now acting on decisions you made when you were 15 and 16. This is a post by a student nurse. The subject line reads, "Failed a class, no more motivation." So we're going to read through this and we're going to break down and see what it is that they're saying. I failed my class, pathology/pharmacology, this semester, and now will have to wait another year to retake it and get my BSN. I was originally supposed to graduate in 2022, decided late I wanted to pursue nursing, so I was set to graduate 2023, and now will be graduating in 2024. To add to this, my parents are already immensely upset on the inside knowing that I initially switched to nursing from trying to become a doctor. All of my peers would be graduating in accelerated doctorate programs and from Ivy League schools by the time I graduate. I am truly at my lowest point in life and do not know how to move on anymore. Education and knowledge have been the cornerstone of my life for as long as I can remember. I've always loved reading and learning in general, but standardized tests, for some reason, have always seemed to prove me wrong. Don't ask me how, I don't know. It's just that I can teach back or explain any concept I have expertise in, but it would kill me to get a good score on a standardized test on the topic. But now I have nothing else to say and feel very low, embarrassed, and exhausted. So it's important to keep in mind what type of state of mind somebody has to be in order to take this to a public forum and state their feelings. This type of stress it's rampant in our school system, and it's becoming more and more rampant at a younger and younger age because things are getting more and more competitive, and you can read it right there in the message. So I pose this question for all of my mentors out there. If it was your mentee that came up to you and delivered you a note, and this is what it said, or this is how they communicated it to you, how would you address it? What is it that you would say? Okay, so I'd like to start things on maybe more of a greener note, a high note. Going into nursing, firstly, you are not trapped. The nursing field is growing at a rapid rate. New career paths are being made. They're becoming more entrepreneurial. They're becoming more managerial. They're becoming more executive. It's really quite amazing. And you're not trapped into just that clinical frame, that clinical mindset that you have to be dealing with the patient. So there is definitely room in which the nurse can kind of blossom if you are so willing to do so. Second thing, how I read it made it seem like education was a very big staple in your life. You also alluded to anger that your parents are having based off of your life decision to go from doctor to nursing. Parents' personal feelings can hold a lot of weight, especially in certain cultures, a lot of weight when dictating what it is that their kids do with their lives. That adds a lot of stress. And I've personally seen people who have made career decisions based off of what their parents wanted, and they end up regretting it. Now, the fact that you even decided to go from doctor to nurse means that you yourself have a little bit of something in there that you yearn for that your parents do not have complete dictation over. Third, you compared yourself to your peers. It is easier said than done for me to say, hey, don't compare yourself to them. Much harder to do. We are in competition constantly, whether it's in high school, college, competing for jobs, competing for this, competing for attention. It doesn't matter. We're constantly in competition. So to adopt the mindset that, you know what, I just need to compete with myself. I need to compete with the self that I was last week or the last month. So long as I'm better than myself that was yesterday. That's a very difficult mindset to really adopt, implement into a lifestyle, and blossom as a result. But I'll tell you what, it is extremely rewarding to be able to have the ability to change your perception about how you see a situation, because this perception is what creates the surrounding reality, and the reality in which we live is what we suffer. When you graduate, what year, it doesn't matter so much. I know it did for me also when I was younger, and it was something that I stressed on as well, but it doesn't. The idea is to finish what it is that you started. Now, standardized tests are very, very difficult for creative minds. Now, I don't mean creative in terms of art. I mean creative in the sense of how you think. Like you said yourself, you can explain things very well once you feel a certain expertise over the material. It takes a very creative mind to teach something to someone else who doesn't have a clear understanding of what it is that they're trying to learn. You have to be creative in how to paint that picture of understanding for them. Those tests are not indicative of your intellect or your capabilities of becoming a nurse, but they are a hurdle that you do have to get through to become a nurse. Lastly, I am truly, truly, truly sorry that you are feeling at your lowest point. I wish I knew the words to say to lift you back up, but I'm also realizing that you cannot find the strength to lift back up from outside resources. This has to come from within. So if you find yourself in the nursing field, you find yourself elsewhere, understand it is a journey, and you are the main character. You are the main character in this journey. Think of it this way. Life is nothing but a fleeting moment. There's moments of happiness and moments of sadness. Now you can and you will get through these feelings. And in 10 years' time, you might not even ever remember this, because there's going to be an even bigger problem that you're dealing with when you're in your 30s. Life sucks. Listen, I don't know if any of this helped. I hope it did. It's really coming from the heart. This is such a difficult issue to really try to wrap your head around. I was there in a sense, but not to the level of stress that I'm reading from your message. So I really hope you take the time, give yourself the headspace to really figure this out, and just try to find a flow with life as opposed to trying to plan it, because life is fairly unpredictable. Thank you for watching. If you got this far and you like what it is that you see, give it a like, give it a comment, or subscribe, or not. That's cool too, but I would love to hear what it is that you think about this, what it is that you would say if it was your kid or somebody that you're mentoring coming to you with these issues. I would love to bring some of these conversations to light, because I think they're very important, they're very real, they're very visceral, because students go through this every single day, all of the time, and we all go through it in our own ways at certain parts of our lives. Having more intentional conversations around these things will bring it to light, and thus normalize and effectually maybe destigmatize a lot of the negative nuances with feeling a little bit down about yourself. Thank you for watching. This has been Tafiq, your prime community nurse, and I am now out.